Hey everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. This is our Path of the Damned Herald run, and we are messing around in Nekataka. I think our new plan is to make a concerted effort to obtain all of the sidekicks. So we now have Facina's quest, which is... double check. Velvet Glove, Brass Fist. The Valian named Berteno stole Rakawa's fingers, a pair of expensive gloves belonging to the wizard Archimir. Try to track that down, and we're probably going to try to get Gidwin. Alright. But first, we've got your fortune. The puppet in the box cocks his head to the side and stares at you with a vacant expression. Taps the metal coin slot expectantly. Give one copper. I'd like to hear my fortune. The puppet's eyes close and he steeples his fingers. You hear gears whirring and clicking inside the box. His eyes reopen, this time with an amber glow.
I see a woman with black hair. No, red hair. Very dark red. Or maybe it really is black. She'll want you to recover her wedding ring. When she pays you, be careful. There's a scorpion hidden in her coin purse. I know not why.
His head clicks to the side, disturbed.
I can see no more. Unless you give me another pyre.
Yeah, sure. Give him another one. Same scenario?
I see a fork in the road. There's a statue of a human. Someone in robes. Take the left fork. If you go right, it could get ugly. Don't ask me why.
You're not very good at this, are you?
I just told you an accurate fortune. You'll be thanking me when it comes true. Oh, Ifrin, you were right. I can't believe I ever doubted you. That's what you'll say. Guaranteed.
I don't know about that. I had other questions. What's your story?
I got on Archimir's bad side and didn't exactly survive the experience.
Oof.
I'm not really supposed to chat with customers.
Ah, metaphysics. I wasn't aware it was possible to bind a soul to this type of contraption.
How about you get yourself over to the Animansis Tower in the Sacred Stair then? No need to gawk at me.
Do any of your fortunes actually come true?
Sure, all the time.
He stares at you unblinkingly, daring you to call him a liar. Oh. Do the Huana have any problem with Archimir holding you here as a slave?
The Queen is too pleased at having an archmage at her disposal to care.
His hinged mouth twitches in a sad smile.
I can't blame her. The Huana have got it rough. We all need coin in the end.
Ifrin's interesting.
Salutations. I see a bucket.
A bucket?
No, a ship. You're going to embark on a journey very soon. Or have you already? If you encounter a man in a hat, you must be careful not to speak to him. The consequences are too dire.
A hat, Odie. There are so many men in hats. So many men in hats. Oof.
I can see no more. Unless you give me another pyre.
I think I want my coin back.
And I want my manhood back. It's not under here, believe me. No refunds. Archimir's policy, not mine.
Nice.
Okay.
Alright, so that is going to be it for here for now. Or go upstairs without issue. Ah, right, because we can get across to Archimir's tower from upstairs. Trap detected.
We here.
Of course.
Fine robe and a hood. Alright. Oh, wait, we don't have, okay. A water shaper robe has fire.
Certainly.
So we can go out the window to try to steal over to Archimir's tower. Potion of the Attuned Self, +8 all defenses against body affliction attacks and mind affliction attacks for 47 seconds. And Facina's Journal. The misery of this apprenticeship, my Dico. Arkamir saves only the most tedious errands for me. If I'm not going to learn anything from this trial, I must find some way to steal enjoyment from it. Whenever Arkamir claims to be deep in study, I will find him wandering the halls wearing an illusory face to trick his imps. Fools them every time. Sometimes I think he came to the Deadfire to be alone with those nasty things. Spites me for getting in the way of his fun. Shortly after he left town, I stole one of the robes he keeps in his bedroom. The imps thought I was their master, fed me cheese and ale for the rest of the afternoon. Of course, I returned the robe when I was done. Ack. Maybe it's not too late to start enjoying myself. So he stole one of the robes in his bedroom. So, i.e., if you want to be mistaken as Arkamir, steal a robe from his bedroom. Like this.
I'll try my best. Hope that helps.
Trollhide belt. Hell yeah. We already have a trollhide belt, don't we? Do. So, let's go with putting that on. Probably like Seraphim. Seraphim can use all of the good efficacy that he can get.
Yes?
Okay, we're not gonna go across just yet. Head down to Goblin Town. I can't remember if Yidwin has anything. Let's head over to staircase and then we'll head down. Because there should be now a I think we probably could have gotten
What is water?
Words are hard. We probably could have gotten the I don't think it matters. There's a bounty
I may have missed my calling.
person over there as well. Man, I'm tired. I almost didn't stream tonight, and this is why I'm leaned way back, just chilling. But, it's been a long day. Feeling it's gonna be a long week. I have a feeling it's gonna be a long year. And we've just started. Alright, cool. So Yidwin should be inside the Spire of the Soul Seers.
Could I have a moment of your time?
Oh, shit. Palagino wants to talk. Of course.
I know someone who works in this tower. An animancer named Joccolo. I'd like to see him if we could.
Joccolo. I don't see why not.
Agrasim. It should not take long. I have not seen him in many years and I wanted to thank him. When I was a girl, he visited me in the academy. He was studying godlike. Studying what was in our souls that made us different from other Keith. He found something in me. Something that resonated like a chime when he held an instrument near me. He said it was like this for all godlike. Different chimes resonating for different types.
Oh, shit. We've got metaphysics and history. What's your chest? Sounds familiar. Or was that the end of it? Doesn't sound like that was the end of it. Sounds like they had a little relationship. Well, let's go with that. Was that the end of it?
No. He told me the chime was what was causing my body to change.
Oh, maybe not then.
I begged him to remove it. He refused at first, saying it was impossible. When I told him I would kill myself if he didn't, he said he would try.
Merest feathers. In the tribes, you would have been beloved and taught to cherish this, not cast it away like a curse.
Takeu raises a hand to his temple. Pelagina's feathers ruffle as she lets out a faint sigh.
I don't expect you to understand, but I was 12. My body was changing in many ways. Being the only girl, the only godlike girl at the academy, was unbearable.
Don't have to justify anything to me, Pelagina.
Agrasima. Giacomo was not able to remove the chime, but he was able to sever it. When it happened, I blacked out. I did not wake for 2 weeks. The Brotherhood ejected him from the academy for ruining their pet godlike. They assumed I would die. I did not. Over time, I lost most of my feathers. The shape of my nose changed. It was not enough to make me fully Kalbandra, but it was enough to keep me from wanting to die.
Holy shit, so she probably would have had like a full-on, almost like avian head. Is from what it's sounding like.
When I looked in a mirror, what I saw was not a godlike. Not something to be paraded around. It was me. Finally, me.
Man, we've got a metaphysics. Smiles seductively. You're beautiful just the way you are.
Do not get ridiculous ideas. You will only embarrass yourself.
She makes a shooing motion with her hand. Her sour expression softens for a moment.
Apologies, but I do not want you to have the wrong idea. I respect you, Watcher.
Yeah. You still flirt. It's fine.
In the Deerwood, we were companions. For better or worse, that relationship worked. I want this to work too. Per Blanca, respect me and my vocation.
Nods politely in your direction, briefly closing her golden eye.
Anyway, now you understand why Giacomo is important to me.
Absolutely.
If we can speak to him inside the tower, I would be grateful.
Yep. Cool.
Certainly.
There's so much to do in Nekataka. Sidekicks. Sidekicks first. We are checking the tower though because Idwin should. Animancy in the modern age, the theorems of Pendragram. Arcanist's Balm. Potion of Elemental Defense. Double Knights. Okay, let's pop out of this onto the side entry, because I can't remember if Yidwin is actually in the tower or...
Get your supplies here.
Bow... Friar... Awakened Audra, wow. Okay,
Hello, Watcher. Fancy a look at this stock? Straight from the laboratory.
let me see what you have.
Have a look.
Don't know what this guy is. Oh, okay, so he's like a salesman from the Audra, or the anime. Amazing and truly incredible instant potion belt. Ah, right. So there's more of those. It's pretty sweet. Ring of Overseeing, which is generally pretty useful. Okura's Kettle, 10% chance to cast Boiling Spray at enemy when wearer is critically hit in melee. Gives you plus burn armor rating and grants Hearth and Home, allowing you to teleport to an ally's location. We've got Animancy Cat, which is +2 metaphysics and +1 arcana. That's a big boost. We'll keep that in mind. But Animancy Cat is an expensive cat. So let's head back in here.
returned. Well, that won't do it all.
So, a steady white-haired elf frowns down at a table covered in coiled copper wires and glimmering shards of Audra. Her gloved hands smooth her well-tailored Valian coat as she mumbles under her breath. Apparently absorbed in her work, the Animancer does not acknowledge your presence. Clear your throat. The woman spins on you, blinking rapidly behind a pair of brass-rimmed spectacles. Her bright carmine eyes and paper-white skin mark her as one of the Glam Felon.
Hello, my apologies. I didn't see you there.
Oh, Ashley. Her Adiran bears a clear, crisp, but difficult-to-place accent. The pale elf examines you warily, unease clear in the set of her shoulders. What do you do here?
I, like the other scholars here, am engaged in the study of the soul sciences. Was there something you needed, or may I return to my studies?
Her thin lips settle into a crooked smile. As she speaks, a drop of blood rolls out of the elf's nose and drips onto her lips. He pulls a handkerchief. Did I just have a stroke? From her coat pocket and wipes away the blood without a word. You're bleeding.
Indeed. I apologize if you find the sight of blood unsettling. Though, from your appearance, I would expect you to be well acquainted with it.
Hey.
In any case, why are you here?
You can just attack Yidwin? Gee. Your accent isn't Valian. Why are you dressed like one?
Just a bit of culture I've picked up along the way.
Her clothing is spotless and well-tailored in the old Valian style, replete with lace, silk velvet, and brocade. Is Yidwin a vampire? I can't remember.
I admire their tailoring tradition immensely. It's much grander than clothing one finds in The White That Wends.
As she straightens the cuff of her jerkin, a small look of satisfaction flits across her face. It's marvelous. Who's your tailor?
I am, of course.
She puts her hand on her hips and straightens her back. You're an animancer and a seamstress.
A curious mind is an agile mind. Besides, the two practices are more alike than one might think.
I suppose they do both require careful hands and obsessive attention to detail.
Care and patience, yes. It is gratifying to be understood.
She brushes a speck of dust from the front of her coat and gives you and gives you a lopsided smile. How did you come to be in Nekataka?
It is a mundane story. I sought out the ship with the longest oversea route departing from the Republics and booked passage. I had intended to perform a handful of experiments regarding the nature of souls that could only be done safely at sea.
I know of no animancy that must be done strictly at sea.
A fellow researcher. Then perhaps you will understand.
She steeples her fingers and gives you a sly smile. I'm not going to like where this is going, am I?
I've long been fascinated by the nature of entropy. Nothing is unaffected by the passage of time, excepting souls. Supposedly.
She smirks.
Is it not possible that repeated reincarnation damages a soul?
Absolutely, it's possible.
Could the process of reincarnation itself be responsible for some of the many ills that plague the souls of Kith?
Absolutely.
I deduced that it was possible to escape the cycle. Escape Berath's grasp. To remove one's soul from the wheel.
I'm afraid that went right over my head.
I suppose I was wrong to expect more from you.
Rude! She heaves a great sigh and straightens her cravat. Any interest in getting out of this tower for some field study? She blinks at your offer, then puts a finger to her lips, clearly considering her next words.
I think perhaps that I would be grateful for the opportunity.
Sure, why not? You're welcome to come along.
Truly?
She blinks, her mouth hanging half open.
How could we possibly live to regret this? No, I'm actually curious.
Oh, Maya. Oh.
Thaklat, traveler. I am grateful.
She clasps your hand in hers, pumps it quickly, and releases. After a quick pat down of the various pockets sewn in her coat, Edwin nods sharply and rests a hand on the hilt of her rapier.
I have all that I need. You may depart at your leisure.
Her lips curl into a coy little smile, and she says no more. Nice. So, of course, we're gonna go Mindstalker, because multi-class. Looks like she doesn't have any special like scenarios, so Mindstalker accept. Fantastic. We're not gonna bring her along just yet. So we will go ahead and check this. And
I'm here.
Actually, do we have a quest? Go complete. Oh. I need to do that. Do we have... Looks like we don't actually have a quest from... Ah, we do. Ask the Animancers in the Spire of Souls seers about Jacalo, and that's a 2 levels higher than me, so hard pass.
Absolutely.
We're gonna bounce real quick because I do not want to. Well, I kind of want that.
Happily.
Nice. So we got Yidwin. Now we continue on. Gonna go do some stuff. We're gonna go try to do the other part of Facina's quest. Right, because we've got Velvet Glove, Brass Fist, find Berteno. Got a temple
Amira
vendor.
has gifted you beautiful
Consider
plumage, I
friends.
say.
Beckham Blanca, do you know how many Postinagos have said that to me? This plumage brings me only the fawning of boys with bigger eyes than brains.
Ikera, a sharp beak as well.
Ado,
Oh, I love
Watcher.
Takehu.
Keeping safe?
Let's see what you have. Exceptional Stiletto. We have Magnificent Escape Cape. Grants the Magnificent Escape. That. Collection. That. And what else? We've got lockpicks. We've got chisels.
I'm here.
Think.
Payment for heads. It could be no simpler, I say.
You. An armored Juana turns and looks you up and down. She holds this motionless pose across a long and contemplative silence. Finally, she draws out a single pyre and balances the coin on her knuckles.
Tell me, are you someone who walks the path that coin lays out before you?
She arches her fingers in a wave, causing the coin to flip from one knuckle to the next. She seems enraptured by the motion. I enjoy getting paid, if that's what you mean.
Transmuting actions into payment is the alchemy that orders our world. All things turn on the axis of a coin bond.
She touches her brow with her free hand as she says the word. Her coin continues its winding journey, uninterrupted.
I pay bounties so that death can bring order to life. Would you help me continue the cycle?
Ooh, try to steal her coin. Yeah, try to steal her coin. You snatch up the coin before it can vanish into Akuro's fist. Or you thought you did. Closer inspection reveals your hand is empty. Akuro smiles and holds your gaze.
The next time payment crosses our hands, let it be in the execution of a bond, a vow, a bounty.
Holding the coin in 2 fingers, she lays it flat in your palm and leaves it there. What bounties do you have available?
If you would forge a coin bond, I know of people on these islands who must die. Their fate is already decided. The coin wishes only to collect. Dugra the Ascetic is wanted for crimes against his monastic order. His people have made a coin bond for his death.
She holds a pyre and lovingly inspects its edge, running her index finger along the curve.
The Orlan wanders the wilderness on the island of Crookspur, northwest of Nekataka.
She closes her fist around the pyre. Before you go, I have some questions.
Speak freely, I say.
She pats a heavy purse at her side. Do you have any other hobbies?
I am a paladin of the Gold-Pact Order. Since taking my oath, I have never been absent of work and duty for longer than an afternoon.
She stands rigid and raises a fist over her heart, but something in her manner softens.
I also enjoy knitting on occasion.
Nice. Farewell. Okay, so, I think we actually just want to head down here. Going to Kehu. Posey. What is Posey? Posey is a +1 to all fire keyworded power levels. So he's a fire cat. That's pretty. Oh, wait, what? And gains a reflex bonus. That's party-wide effect. And +5 reflex. Pretty cool. Oh, a bunch of these have additional. I did not even notice that. Okay, what do we currently have? We have +1 perception and 10% of incoming crits converted to hits. Why does it not clearly just state? Why does it say grants party-wide effect? Why doesn't it say grants +5 will? Alright, anyway.
Indeed.
Okay. We're actually going to head down to Brass Citadel. And we are going to do the Barteno quest. Because I'm pretty sure after that we can get Fascina. I think.
Halt! What is your business at the Brass Citadel?
Calm down. I met Hazanui Karu at the palace.
You're the Watcher. The one who nearly caused a riot in Queensbirth.
I wasn't even close to a riot. Calm down. His mouth quirks in a grin.
Grand Secretary Atsura wants to meet you. His office is on the lower level of Imperial Command. Up the stairs.
He points to the steps.
Once you're inside, go downstairs through the room on the right.
What about the Hazanui?
Her office is at the back of Imperial Command. She is busy organizing other matters.
Clears his throat.
But I am sure she will grant you an audience.
Fair enough.
With sails unfurled and sword held high, to battle for glory and Rautai.
Faithfully done, Emiani. Report to Wakoyo Nui when your hands and your temper have healed.
Oh, we can,
That's the last time I ship out with some soft-handed runt.
I'm pretty sure we can get her as a, crew member.
Come to gawk, too? My punishment's over, you know.
She looks away and crosses her arms carefully to hide her burned hands. We'll go with the benevolent diplomatic. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to upset you.
I shouldn't take my anger out on you. It's not your fault I punched my captain.
Why, that is a correct statement. It's not my fault you punched your captain. As if the mere mention of the incident takes her back to it. Her face darkens with anger, and a bitter snarl transforms her features.
So maybe he shouldn't have insulted my aim. Like I don't know the difference between a smooth and rifled bore.
Shakes her head, quietly stewing. I don't want to actually pick Drastic because I feel like she might get pissed off at that. What are you going to do now?
I'm not reporting back to Wakoyo, that's for sure. I crewed on mercenary ships before this. Come to think of it, that suited me better.
She grins impishly.
Still a scramble root at heart, I guess. But I'm plenty experienced. Maybe I'll see if anyone's looking for an expert cannoneer.
I could use an experienced cannoneer on my crew. She looks you up and down, considering your offer.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I only crew with captains I know, either personally or by reputation. I'm sure you're capable, but I don't know enough about you yet.
Her eyebrow works up in hopeful suggestion.
Let's talk again when you've made a name for yourself.
Gotcha. So we have to get more experience. Which I think we are... really surprised at that. We're a 4-star captain. Maybe something else.
Yes?
Anyways.
At once.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but how do you get your shirts on in the morning?
That's a good fucking question. Carefully.
I guess so.
She nods slowly.
You in the market for some supplies, friend?
Why are you working at a Rawatayan outpost?
Because I'm from Rawatai. Or, to be more specific, my ancestral home's been part of the Empire for decades. Few generations now.
Fair enough. I feel like I know that the answer to this question. How did your homeland become part of Rawatai? They conquered it.
The usual way, I guess. Their soldiers beat ours.
Yep, she shrugs. Does that bother you? She glances around to see if anyone's in earshot.
I guess it used to. When I was younger, I grew up hearing stories of the time before from my grandparents. But they were children themselves when Rawatai took over.
She frowns at you thoughtfully.
Some wax romantic about the old days. Anyways, I'm just trying to make a living. That's why I'm here, after all.
What's it like living under Rawatayan rule?
I don't know. I never known anything else. We've got the Rawatayan's fancy new irrigation canals now, and the roads have gotten better. The ones leading into Tekoa, anyhow.
Pauses, lost in thought, and smirks.
Funny thing is, the further you go on them, the nicer everything gets, and the more it all looks like this.
She nods at the stone walls and towers. Let's get back to business.
That's a better subject. I've got all sorts of goods and supplies. Take a look before you head back out.
What you got for sale? Gauntlets of Ogre Mites. Those are actually pretty cool. Greater Regeneration. That's nice. Charm of Bones. Grants Call of the Restless. Summons a random vessel to fight for the wearer. And we get Lay Unto Slumber. We get +2 intellect and +5 accuracy against vessels. It's pretty interesting. Ardenal.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Fucker. Alright, you.
Beat it. I don't have time to chit-chat.
The thin Valian glances over your shoulder with an expectant frown. He stares up at your head, distracted, before quickly turning away. I'm in the market for some gloves. You stole a pair of gloves from the dark cupboard. Give them to me.
Not a chance, amico.
He narrows his eyes at you.
Fascina sent you, didn't she? Postinago, just for these?
You mean just for these? You stole those knowing that they were valuable enough to get you out of the shit you're in. Shaking his head, he pulls a pair of fine gloves from his pocket, studying them with evident disappointment.
Soft as down, but not a single fence willing to pay me a fair price. Maybe they've got imp stink all over them.
You're going to have a hard time selling an Archmage's gloves for fast coin.
Should have guessed these were bad luck. Well, it's too late to go making smart decisions, isn't it?
He opens his mouth to say more, but something to the southwest distracts him. His expression fills with dread.
Here he comes, and I'm too late. If Hamuto doesn't give me an extension on my debt, I'm a dead man.
Keep your mouth shut and follow my lead. Glancing at you, Berteno shrugs and swallows down a lump in his throat. Duifa, duifa. Oh no, I'm gonna get murdered. A unit of steely-eyed sailors approaches the docks, clutching pikes and firearms with quiet professionalism. At their head stands a tall Amawa in a mustard-yellow uniform. He turns his attention between you and Berteno.
So, Berteno, you hired a mercenary, or else a negotiator. That coin should have gone toward your debt to me.
Hamuto rubs a long scar that extends the length of his neck.
Huh? No, I didn't. That is, I would never go behind your back.
Berteno's voice falters and he turns to you with sudden panic. Oh, gosh. Normally I'd go the aggressive route, but I am a paladin of Saint Elkiga. I'm going to go the honest route. And so I said that shit to Berteno, and I'm just going to be like, bye, bitch. I came for a pair of gloves that Berteno stole. This isn't my problem.
Hamuto, I wondered if you might take them as a payment on my debt, or maybe for an extension?
I possess gloves of my own, and they suffice for my needs.
Captain focuses on you with a cool, dispassionate look.
This is a private matter. Your interference is unnecessary.
Hamuto spreads his hands in a peaceful manner as his soldiers level their guns at Berteno. You sound more reasonable than I was led to believe.
Do I? One can be adherent to the tenets of maritime law and still be seen as a monster.
What is your plan for Berteno?
Indentured servitude. I trust this is a more honest and respectable alternative than any pursuit he would take on his own terms.
Seraphin snorts through his scarred snout.
Be calling it whatsoever you like, Captain Cogswallow. But your honest and respectable slavery be slavery all the same.
Spits on the ground.
Your toy pirate speaks out of turn. I would teach him a lesson if I were you, Captain.
He focuses on you, keeping Seraphin in the periphery. Perhaps I can pay what's owed.
You must care a great deal for this insufferable little worm to stake your purse on his freedom.
I could just fight you. Hamuto taps his lower lip in thought.
400 pyres are what Berteno owes. And I will accept that sum to have this sorry business concluded.
Berteno, you can't fucking afford 400. God damn it, you broke-ass bitch. Although it's like that scenario of just don't be poor. Payment as agreed.
Then our business is concluded.
Hamuto signals his men to stand down. After a hateful look, they lower their arms and follow their captain's lead. Now give me the fucking gloves, Berteno.
I can't believe I'm finally out of debt.
Oh, he's with the Principe? Ugh. That hurts even worse.
For the first time in my life, I'm free.
Berteno clasps his hand together, tears brimming at the corners of his eyes. And kill him. Technically, you're indebted to me. Slap him. Oh, I kind of want to do that. Can I quick save? No, I can't quick save. Yeah, I kind of want to slap him. His head snaps to the side and he slowly turns to you, cupping his cheek and looking stunned.
What was that for?
Let's just slap him again. You were being extremely ungrateful.
Oh yeah? How's this for gratitude?
He throws a pair of gloves at you and sprints away. Jesus. Berteno, you piece of shit. Probably wouldn't have ran if I hadn't slapped him, but I'm actually kind of okay with that result. A scenario of like, I'm gonna steal from my girlfriend to pay off my freaking mercenary debts. Goodness. Alright, did we actually get those? Are they actually an item? It's a unique item, isn't it? Quest items. Rakoa's fingers. +1 dexterity and +1 sleight of hand with spark crackers. Hailing from the slums of Nekataka, the master pickpocket Rakoa made her humble fortune by cutting purse strings and picking pockets. Her talent for liberating wealth from those who seemed so incapable of keeping it was due in part to these enchanted gloves. When worn, they seem hardly there, like a second skin. When dipped into a pocket or satchel, one's fingertips practically filch of their own accord. Alright, sweet. We have gathered stuff. That. Nice. I think we want to head into Uto's gunnery just to see what pretty shiny options there are at Uto's. Uto's has some, if I'm remembering correctly, a couple of legendary guns. Cool. The man greets you with arms crossed over his chest. He has a mass of scar tissue where his left eye would be, and his hands are knotted with bulging tendons.
Looking for a pistol or an arquebus? Rawatai makes the finest guns in Aora, and I make the finest guns in Rawatai.
Yeah, we're not in Rawatai though, buddy. What makes your guns so special?
Craftsmanship.
He holds out his knotted hands, keeping them entirely still as he speaks to you. They're covered in small burns and scars that blur the varied pigmentation of his skin.
If you ask my superiors at Imperial Command, they'll tell you our main exports are saltpeter and metal. Those are just things. They're prized because of what we do with them.
He reaches under the counter and presents a blunderbuss, holding it out for your inspection with his ever-steady hands. It's a high-quality piece.
Rawataian industry is about discipline, precision, mastery of a careful art. Those qualities guide all that we build.
He puts the blunderbuss away. Let's see what you have. Dragon's Dowry, which is a bouse weapon. So it is of legendary quality, 32 to 42 damage. Very high. Very high penetration. It's got the normal arquebus things, inaccurate, blunted criticals, unfit for melee, veil piercing, etc. It has Dragon's Breath. So once per rest is basically like a big ass wall of fire. It's cool. And then it also has 10% chance for the wielder to suffer 10 burn damage on launching an attack, but also causes 20% damage burn. So you get a 20% additional damage buff on top of the base as additional burn damage. And then you can increase it further from Rune Lock to Stable Rune Lock. So you decrease the chance of taking damage, or you can increase the chance and the damage, but also increase the amount of damage that it does. And then with Dragon's Breath, you can upgrade, not upgrade, but you can also gain Blazing Fury, which is increased attack speed, 40% increased attack speed. Take fire damage the entire time, or you can do, I want to say this is a water burst. Or sorry, it's not a water burst, it's a fire burst. It's akin to Palagina's her special. But Dragon's Dowry is a super cool weapon. Very, very cool. And also, we have Corridio's Trophy, Pistol, Herb. Opening shot. Scoring hits with this weapon grants a stacking -5 recovery time with melee weapons for 30 seconds. So that's cool, and it's got increased crit damage. So like a kind of like if we were doing a ranged and melee with someone like Seraphim, be cool. And you can get Obliterating Crit, which is just 25% crit damage, or you can get additional penetration on a critical hit, which is probably, honestly, the better choice. More pen! More pen! More pen! Opening Barrage, scoring hits gives you -5 recovery time for melee. So that's pretty significant. Or all right, cool. So opening shot is hits grants -5 recovery time to melee weapons. Opening Barrage is to any weapon for 30 seconds. So that's really cool. This is actually a really strong pistol, because you can go pen on crits or just crits, and then you can go stacking. Wow, that's an amazing pistol. You just shoot faster and faster and faster as it stacks. That's dope. That is incredibly worth 14k. I'm gonna buy it right now.
I'd be glad.
'Cause I kind of want to ship before I do any other big purchases. I kind of want to do a decent sized ship for our crew. All right, let's head back to Fasina.
Leave. No Valiant spy is coming through on my watch.
I'm a merchant. I have business inside.
You want to see our walls, our cannons, our powder house. You must think I'm an idiot.
Ak, you got one thing right.
I will say this place is a fucking fortress compared to Queen's Birth. Okay, back to Pariki's Overlook, to the Dark Cupboard. Nice. So we'll turn this into Fasina, and I think we can get her to join the party after that. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I believe that to be the case.
You're back. Kue, any news?
I'm afraid Berteno is dead now. I took care of Bateno's debt with Hamudo's Stoneheal.
You are willing to put up all that money?
One of her eyes narrows at you.
What of the gloves? What happened to them?
Lie. I have them right here for you. She accepts the gloves with a grateful sigh.
At least I know Arkmir won't feed me to the imps.
She folds the gloves with care and stows them away.
Take your discount as well. If the cupboard doesn't make its goals, so be it. I am the apprentice. What few spells I know, he made me. I think it's because he knows I...
Ah, maybe we can't get Vecina yet.
Certainly.
Let me check that real quick. Let's check and see. Vecina, what's the requirements for obtaining her? Is involved in quest. Recommended party member for the Forgotten Sanctum. So if we do the Archmage's Vault, then we can talk to Vecina and she will give us the key to get into the front door, and completing the quest will also unlock her as, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, that quest is right out in front of Archimir's Manor. It's those two arguing individuals that we skipped. Were originally getting Takehu. I think, again, if I am remembering correctly. I think I am. Tumara and Nateha. Okay. Save and chitter-chatter.
I don't give two pyres for your tribal pride, and I wager that Arkmir cares even less.
The Yamawa woman clutches her fist at her sides. Her severe features are caught in an unshakable grimace.
If this is what passes for Rautai in diplomacy, Razanui has bigger problems.
More calm and composed, Tawana smiles, turning when she notices you.
Ah, Takehu. Are you still shaping fountains into phalluses for the delight of bathhouse ladies?
Makara, I have not indulged in parlor tricks since the last time you visited.
Aha.
As I recall, you cheered the loudest of all for my pillar of liquidity.
Really, Takehu? Takehu bows, holding her eye contact with an amused grin.
If you've come to see Arkmir, you're too late. He left the estate on wizard business.
Did you say wizard business?
Arkmir could be drinking Koiki wine with dead kings. There's no finding him if he doesn't want to be found.
What's going on between you two?
Tamar and I wanted something from Arkmir. Our powers of persuasion leave much to be desired.
The wizard got his hands on a Huana tablet, the Harapo epic. I came to reclaim it for Rauatai. In the middle of my negotiations, this little pest showed up with a claim on it.
She gestures to Natehe. Natehi?
The Harapo epic belongs to the Huana. The Queen sent me to remind you both.
Ouch. History. An intact primary source is a rare find for the Huana.
Akira, few outsiders can appreciate what such an artifact could mean to our people.
Posturing about cultural value is worthless. We both want the tablet for the same reason.
Woohoo. Who's Arkmir?
A spellcaster, and a damn good one. Specializes in hexes and illusions. He and his apprentice run the Dark Cupboard, a local magic shop.
How did Arkmir come to possess the tablet?
I believe that he had dealings with black market treasure hunters. Not that the Queen will implicate him.
She's too preoccupied negotiating with the warmongers at her door.
Back to my previous questions. Wait, is there another reason you both want the tablet so badly? The pair go silent and awkwardly avoid eye contact, focusing in different directions. Nice.
There are things better left unsaid.
While I'm standing here, you mean?
Akira, I don't deny it.
Okay. Instead of standing here and arguing, why not negotiate with him?
Arkemir left the city. Likely for the peace and quiet we didn't grant him.
At least I offered to pay him. Your only currency is altruism.
So what's your plan?
I might as well adjourn to the palace in Serpent's Crown and give Arkemir time to think.
What a load of... You mean to get your hands on that tablet with or without Arkemir? You island rats can barely write your own names, much less a distinguished epic.
Ooh. And this is why I favor Netehe over tomorrow. This is why I favor the Huana over the Rawatai. So again, I go back to that concept of every faction in this game kind of sucks. Netehi blinks at her in shock and takes a moment to smooth down the creases.
Scamper back to the Brass Citadel and spin your own plots. I will happily do the same on my side of the island.
And now we pick. I have questions for Netehi before.
For me? I could use a reprieve.
Netehi watches Tamara skulk away, turning back to you only when she's gone, and lets out a heavy sigh.
These are frustrating times we live in. What say?
Netehi opens her palms, inviting you to speak. Any ideas on retrieving the Harapo epic?
There's always Facina, Arkemir's apprentice. No love lost there if whispers are true.
Netehi shrugs.
Arkemir seems to enrage those of his inner circle, not excluding the imps.
I had questions about the tablet.
Akira, I say the relevance of the Harapo epic can't be overstated. It could prove a touchstone for the Huana. It could even... Sorry, you go ahead.
Why is the tablet so important to you?
It is important to all who call the Deadfire home. I only tell you this because I know you can be trusted.
Nice.
The epic is supposed to contain information on Ukaizo.
I wonder if we've got a high enough reputation with the Huana now, and that's why she says that.
Nothing as dramatic as a set of coordinates.
Or if it's just,
hey,
we're trustworthy.
Helps. Stories are also important to the Huana. Much of who we are is still missing.
What could the epic tell you about the Huana?
The story could speak to the values and beliefs of our ancestors. The language structure, narrative voice, and use of metaphor can tell us something about the time of its inscription.
She touches her bottom lip and glances off to the distance.
We could even... I've lost you, haven't I? Akira, I tend to go on.
Haven't lost me at all. Did you know about the epic before it fell into Arkemir's hands?
Akira, from the Journal of Rakua, an explorer who found the tablet on a remote island some 20 years ago. Unfortunately for Rakua, the most we found of her was her journal among the flotsam of a shipwreck.
Oh, shit. Why is the Royal Deadfire Company so interested in the tablet?
They think the tablet can show them.
Kaizo. Netehi stops herself, weighing her words with care.
Well, the way to Ukaizo.
She sighs and regards you with unease.
Akira, it's a mythical island, but that isn't stopping any of us from rushing to claim it first.
All I wanted to know.
Akira, the pleasure is mine.
Awesome. Okay, so now we have... Where's this? Where's she? Ania? Ah, right, in Queensbirth. Gotcha. Bounty, bounty, bounty. Bounty, bounty, bounty. Brass Empire. Publics. Slow the man down. Trade secrets. Distant light. Honored guest. Ah, the Archmage's vaults. Find a way inside Arkemir's manor. That's a little higher than what is intended, I think, for us. to be successful anyways. We'll still probably touch base with Facina and see if we can, I don't know, maybe get a...
If you find yourself in need of comfortable garb, I'm happy to oblige.
The dwarf tips his head in a curt, professional manner.
And before you ask, no, I shouldn't have trouble fitting you for something.
Raises you, nodding slowly.
Still find that robe to your liking? Doesn't chafe your scales none?
Gives Takehu a quick appraisal.
Akira, you are a wizard with bark cloth. I was the envy of the guild.
Bows his head and touches his brow.
Well, it helps me when Ngati's prize whelp is a walking endorsement.
Iolfer? Iolfer? I have no idea how to pronounce his name. He grins at Takehu before turning his attention back to you. You're a tailor.
I've been known to rip a seam here and there, patch some shredded gear back into shape.
His expression shifts, turning sour.
Thought I was an armorer, did you? Assumed that my tree stump limbs and barrel chest lend themselves better to the forge than the needle?
Jesus. I don't want to do that. I don't want to grab him by the collar. I meant no offense.
If it's armor you're after, Marihi will set you up. She's got a knack for metal.
He points out the door and jerks his head to the east. Show me what you have for sale. He's got some armor, actually. it's light armor, but still. We got the Mantle of 7 Bolts. We've got Shock Armor rating, grants Storm of 7 Bolts, which is a bouncing... It's a lightning bolt. Cool. And Final Storm, it does shock damage AoE when knocked out. Cool. Got Burglar Gloves, +1 Dexterity, +2 Mechanics, and +2 Athletics. Those are pretty good gloves for situational situations. Situations. 3 Trolls Stitched. Okay, so decent regen, but you take additional burn and corrosion damage. Then we've got Ngati's Girdle, +1 Athletics, 10% chance to cast Interrupting Crush damage AoE when critically hit in melee, and gives you Crush armor.
Yes? Absolutely. Not a sound. Quietly now. Yes? Shh. Yes? Sir? What can I do? What can I do?
Nope. Do I have anyone doing stealth? Is it Maya doing stealth? Yeah, actually, probably.
What do you stare at me, little man?
Where I staring? I'll just be finding your mind a bit different, so.
My thoughts are for myself, but I give of my heart freely.
And here with me living the other way around.
Let's head back in there real quick and see how much issue we have with Maya.
Speak freely. Aye. Ishi. Quiet time.
Party assist is only a +4. Okay. Not gonna worry.
Not a sound.
Okay. No big. Alright, we'll head back to Facina and see about some gloves. Gloves. Freaking A. My brain tonight. Hit up the dark cupboard and
Do you look for something in particular?
I need to get inside Archimir's manor.
Imp, go hang laundry.
Nice. She holds up a finger for silence, her gaze following the shop imp as he flutters moodily away.
I'm only doing this for how you help Berteno.
She lets out a heavy sigh and slips a key from her pocket.
Here, burn Archimir's manor down for all I care.
Presses a key into your palm.
What else do you need?
Back to the matter of Archimir's. Diplomacy, honest, paladin. Can you at least tell me anything useful?
The imps that guard the manor? Idiots. Archimir plays with shape-shifting illusions, so his imps know him by his clothes. Do with that what you will.
Back to the matter of Archimir's manor. Is there another way inside the manor?
Locked doors tend to have keys. That one's free.
Back to other questions. Alright, so I know of at least 2 other ways. One is across the rooftop out of the window from upstairs. And then another is from the basement of the Pariki's bathhouse.
Tekehu, when was the last time the Lady of Lament helped your people?
I say, Mother Ingati brings in the tide and pulls it back every day. For what would I ask anything more of the sea?
Tiverus, I will never understand how you people can serve something that cares so little for you.
That's fair. We're going to head into Marihi's metalwork and just check the inventory there, and then we'll probably... Odie boy, you grace us with your presence. Hey, hello, Odie. Hey, hello.
Yes? Quietly now.
Oh, guard.
At once.
Shh.
Of course.
I say, you look like someone who wants protection and a certain something about presence. Akira?
The Huana woman scans you up and down, nodding as she measures your proportions.
It isn't every day that I cater to your kind, but I like a challenge. Last time you showed your face here, you left with a swollen thumb.
She raises her brow upon spotting Tekehu.
Akira, you swing the forge hammer with such grace.
She hit him with a fucking hammer. Tekehu mutters and fluffs back his hair.
A better compliment than you paid last time. I'll take it.
Turns her focus back to you.
Holler if any of the iron or steel laying around catches your fancy. Or if you need something repaired, I'm happy to take a glance.
Show her the shards of the Blade of Endless Paths and the Whispers of Yinwood. Can you do anything with these?
Akira, but these wonders have suffered greatly. I say you must take better care of your things.
She sets down the shards and frowns at you. I know, believe me. So what do you think?
I say I could repair these to their working order for 1,500 pyres each.
3,000?
Something about the metal. It yearns to bond as one. I could join all these pieces into a great sword for 3,000 pyres.
Wow. I might have to look that up. She lifts her gaze to meet yours, the excitement of a challenge in her eyes.
If you need iron or steel, maybe even something lighter, I've got plenty in stock.
That's really cool. Bariki's Overlook is an interesting place for an armorer.
Akira, they wouldn't put a traditional smith here unless she brought something special.
She sighs and glances towards her tools.
My clients wanted everything engraved and beautiful. Wasn't why I got into the business, but it keeps my debtors happy. I keep it interesting working with exotic materials like shark leather, since there's some demand and little supply.
She shrugs, running her hand across the length of hide. Show me what you have for sale. Show me what you got. So she's got Queen's Rule. Nice two-handed greatsword. Grants capture. Exert your supremacy to switch positions with a single enemy. If you are a higher level than your foe, you will make a full attack on them in the process. Unlikely to ever happen because we have scaling on it. It's subpar at best. About checkmate. If you swap positions with an enemy and then with an enemy and that becomes surrounded by 2 or more of your allies, they will be stunned. That's pretty cool. Checkmate. And then promote, you may now swap positions with allies as well. Doing so grants your ally the smart. That's pretty cool. That's interesting, but that's not like, I mean, it's cool, but it's not like, oh my gosh. Spearcaster. I'm assuming it shoots spears. 50% chance to knock back and daze target scoring a critical hit. Nice. 5 ranged accuracy increases with the Arcana skill. Interesting. So forceful impact, you can get it up to pinning, which immobilizes on scoring a hit. Or skewer, which fires a spear-like bolt through multiple targets. So a line nuke. You can also get arcane bolts, which is a 15% chance to cast Minoletto's minor missiles on target. Cool. Or elemental bolts, which gives you additional damage as many different elements. So 3, 6, 9, 12% additional damage as various elements. It's pretty sweet. That's interesting. Spearcaster seems cool. And that is why it's 19k versus Queen's Rule being 7 or 8k. Lover's Embrace. Gives True Love's Kiss. True Love's Kiss is stealth attacks cause the target to bleed for raw damage until the battle ends, which is a decent amount of raw damage. Lover's Quarrel gives Frenzy. 33% chance to apply Frenzy to self on scoring crit on female target. Or Lover's Quarrel male target. So, okay, interesting. I don't tend to enjoy things that are so specific like that, though, because they tend to just not be useful a decent portion of the time. We've got Tuotio's Palm. So this counts as an offhand weapon, I'm assuming for the purposes of two-weapon fighting. So 10% chance on receiving melee weapon damage to gain a wound. Oh, so this is a nice monk weapon. So cool. Additional engagement. Inward spikes. Additional deflection per wound and more reflex per wound. That's pretty good. Or outward spikes, 20% chance of being missed by a melee attack to strike back instantly. That's also pretty cool. Precision Striker, +5 accuracy with unarmed attacks. Or Pugilist, +10 damage with unarmed attacks. So this would maybe be something nice to pick up for Rekka, right? Because we could use it as a shield in one hand, and it would still count as two-weapon fighting, I suppose. And I guess he still punches with it. That would be cool. But we don't want to use it for someone like Shodi because she's not using unarmed attacks. But that's interesting. That's cool. Okay, sweet.
Not a sound.
Can we get to that, maybe? We're going to try it, and then we're going to be done with this video, probably. Once Marihi
Just a moment, please. It's no trouble. Quick.
Yeah, yes, I'm still in Nekataka. I could spend another 10 or 15 hours in Nekataka. Absolutely. But likely I will not actually spend another 10 hours in Nekataka. Because I think the next time we play, I'm probably going to... I have a current goal of trying to obtain all of the companions. But we can't do Facina. We can't get Facina until we can beat the Archmage's Vault. And that is 3 levels higher than we are. So we're definitely not going to be able to do that yet. Which means we're going to have to go level first. So we will probably actually go do Blow the Man Down, which is Fort Deadlight. Because there is a companion in Fort Deadlight. Remember if there's another sidekick that we're missing. Pillars of Eternity. We got Yidwin. We've got Constantine. Merc is in Fort Deadlight, and that's who we can get. We got Rekka. So the only ones left are Facina, which we can't get until we finish Archmage's Vault. Merc, which we can get by going to Fort Deadlight, and then Vatnir, and Vatnir is DLC. Vatnir's in winter, so we're not getting Vatnir until significantly later in the game. So the only 2 we have left are Merc and Facina. So next time we play, we're going to go to Fort Deadlight for the purposes of picking up Merc, but also so we can just do the Fort Deadlight stuff. And we're gonna blow through, probably focus on blowing through any quest that is our level, right? So trade secrets, blow the man down for the Republics. We still need to return in Biakara. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching. I will see you all next time.